Hey guys, what's up? This video is going to be about intuition, okay? Kind of going with your gut. Now, this is an example that I'm going to pull from the past, but I think it works with everything. So you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in a second. So, I spent a lot of years learning my trade, understanding the theory of color, understanding motion, understanding animation, understanding 3D modeling, understanding polygons, understanding vertices, understanding typology, and so on and so on and so forth. Right? This is what I've kind of entrenched myself in my career. Now, you'll always have, and on top of that, understanding my client, very, very, very important. Okay, so I've always had, in the places that I've worked in the corporate world or even in my own business, that person or people that would always say something like, "Are you sure you want to put that red in there? I don't know, maybe it should be more like green." And so you hear them out and what their rationale is, and you go, I get it, but I also know the client, they definitely looking for this to, I think the green might work better. I really don't like the way the red. Okay. So just out of being nice, you kind of try to oblige, and you try the green. Okay. Now, this is not to say that they're wrong. Okay. And then another person comes in and goes like, "Oh, that audio, that tempo, it sounds a little too slow. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if like maybe the tempo was a little higher, faster?" And you go, "Well, the tempo matches what the story is trying to emote or convey. So I think this tempo works well, but we'll try it out. I'm pretty flexible. I'm a malleable dude, and I welcome everybody's input." And there lies the issue. I think people kind of mistaken, their input for something that has to be solidified. When I ask for input, I'm asking for someone to give me something that's rational, something that's based on the project that I'm working on, whatever that may be. And so many times, and of course it's my era. I've gone beyond what my gut feeling or my God-given intuition is, and done it their way just for flexibility, or just to be that nice guy who welcome everybody's opinion. Which conversely, like I said, everybody's going to have an opinion. But when it comes to your profession, when it comes to work, or even aside from that, when it comes to the thing that you're the expert in, try not to, uh, lose what you have, which is that intuition. You know that you know that you know. And typically, when you're having people look at your work, you're kind of just gauging, what it is that what was their first, thought, what was their first train of thought. See if there's a global consensus. See, what kind of emotion, did it like pull out of them. And then, of course, you, at the end of the day, being the expert in that field and understanding who the client is and what they like, you have to make that final call. So this video that I'm making now, this doesn't just work in your professional life, although it is more prominent and prevalent in the professional world, because like I said, you're going to have a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and everybody wants to make sure they get their hands on it. It's a big client, so everybody wants to say they had a piece of that puzzle. And again, as a team, awesome. But everybody works in their respective spot for a reason. And then in my case, I've been always put in a position where I have to make the final call on things. And my era, many times, was kind of just listening to everybody say, make it blue, make it green, faster tempo, maybe louder, even though it went against my gut. Viscerally, I felt it in my body. I knew that it wasn't right. but for the sake of harmony and being cool and, letting everybody get their stab at it, I poor judgment, I kind of went in that direction. Now, similarly, this is going to be 100% true and probably even more true in your personal life. I mean, you're going to have, like I said, siblings, friends, uncles, family, acquaintances. You're going to have just people in your surrounding that are going to input and input and input and input and input. And and just so you know, I'm for input. Don't get me wrong. I love to hear as much information as possible, and what works, if it works, I'll definitely put into it, and I'll definitely give you the credit. If credit is what you're looking for, I'll give you the credit. I can definitely do that. I've done that a million times. And then conversely, on the flip side of that, if something turned out wrong because of everybody else, I'll take full responsibility, because rightfully so, it's my responsibility at the end of the day. I made the call, and that's what we do. But this can happen, in your day to day. It's like you're walking in the store with your brother, and you pick up, you find, excuse me, you find a $10 bill. Now, the $10 bill was next to this lady's purse, and so you kind of just put two and two together, and you ask the lady, is this your $10? And she kind of looks and goes, yes, yes. And then your brother gets mad at you. Why'd you say that? She didn't even know. I don't even think it was hers. You saw how surprised she looked, and you're only doing what you thought was right, right? So now here we go. He's upset, and you are ready to walk out the store, and it just so happens she's a multimillionaire, and she says, I really appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate that you did this. Let me give you a gift certificate to a store that I own, and it's a $500 gift certificate. So a $10 thing turned into a $500 gift certificate. And it just so happens that it's the store that your brother loves, right? So just stay with me for a second, because a moment ago, your intuition led you to do the right thing, and it also led you to the right person. Okay, but then another person in this scenario, this fictitious scenario, your brother was upset, because you did that. But because I was then rewarded for that thing that he wasn't happy about, it turns out to his benefit. So now I have this huge gift certificate to a lot of money with a lot of money to something that he can buy. So see how it benefits him, and then he's happy. And this is going to happen almost every single moment of your life with a myriad of people. And I would say that if you're the expert, or if you're the person that ultimately has to make a decision, go with your gut. And if your gut is to believe whoever it is around you, if that's your gut, like, hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that. Hey, you should color this way. Hey, you should raise this. And in your gut, you feel that they are right, then go with your gut. But despite everybody putting in their, 20 cents, you have to go with your gut, with your intuition, what you know to be right. And if it turns out wrong, well, you take responsibility regardless. Okay? And these type of little decisions are made every day. And it's because people bring in and project their own feelings, their own inadequacies, their own lack of. And so you can't do this. You can't do this. I wouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. This is going to be horrible. I wouldn't do this. And again, you'll make an assessment, and your gut, okay, your intuition will tell you if you're being steered in the right way or the wrong way. And then if you take their advice because you felt that was the right thing to do, and it turns out that it was the right thing to do, beautiful. You went with your gut, you followed what they said, and everything worked out beautifully. But on the flip side, if you didn't go with your gut and you did what they said, and then you find out that, wow, what a massive failure, or not even just a failure, but like lots of lost opportunities. That's really where it really hurts, is a lot of lost opportunities, because the thing you know you can do, the thing you were born and created to do, the thing that you do well, everybody else has an opinion for you, and they're going to sway you based on what they would do. And that's the problem. Okay, so if anybody is resonating with this and you have people around you, the naysayers, and sometimes they mean well, okay? So I should have prefaced by saying sometimes they mean well. It's just that they're projecting what they can't do, okay? And at the end of the day, in your sphere, in your life, okay, so that you know what to learn from and what to grow from, you have to make the decision that you just know that you know that you know is the right decision, even though at the moment it seems like, wow, did we make the right decision? And if you follow your gut and you're doing things with the right intentions, and you know that it aligns with your purpose, then go with your gut. In my case, I would say that that's God nudging me to say, yes, go by faith. And not everybody's going to be that way, but we all do have that little conscience, that gut, that feeling, that knowing inside of us. And sometimes we just push it aside. Actually, not sometimes. I would say 99% of the times we push it aside, and then we go with the masses. And at the end of the day, remember, whatever it is that you do, whatever sphere that you fall in, whatever, thing that you're great at, you have to own it. You have to know that you're great at it and that you are the expert in it. And that whether it becomes successful or falls, it's ultimately going to be your responsibility no matter what anyway. So own it. And then when it works out, you'll have all these people say, whew, lucky you went that route. Well, they'll say that now, but in the past, when you went that route, it was bumpy. And, those bumps are good because it shows who's going to fall off that wagon. And then you'll know who will fall off on that bumpy ride. And at the end of the day, all of this is created so that it can start pruning the wrong people away from your life, so that you can serve your purpose with the God-given intuition that you were created with. All right. So if this message resonates with anybody, again, DM me, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Comment. All righty, guys. Peace.